What's up, YouTube fam? Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. Um, let's get some backtesting going. I'm trying to work on my discipline, so I want to work on my process and what I'm looking for, and then just take that. That's it. Let's take a quick look at my trades from today, and then let's get some backtesting done. All right, let's get tiny. Okay, so I mentioned that I reset my account, and so I reset it to 10,000. So these are my two trades from today. Um, I gotta say, as I'm learning, I was treating that drawdown like real money, but it was drawdown that was earned at a time when I wasn't really, I still haven't figured out how to let my trades play out to, their end setups. So it's kind of hard to be, focused when you can't even hold to fruition. But anyway, so the first one that you see, the 120 here, actually took that just before market open. So I closed the position at 916. I decided I didn't want to hold on to it during market open because I've not done that yet. But my general idea, and I'll make, like it came up into this 4 hour breaker. That's what the yellow denotes. Let's do this. Sorry, 1 hour bearish breaker. And then it tapped the 0.25 of a 4 hour wick. So given that it was respecting it, then we had a nice shift. I figured if price came back up and gave me an entry here, then, above the fair inside of the fair value gap with a stop above here, reaching for just below here. So that worked out beautifully, but while we're waiting for the open at 9:30, when it dropped like a stone, I decided I didn't want to, even though I'd moved my stop loss like a tick or two into profit, just to hold it there, I didn't want to risk it shooting up if it wanted to do that as a Judas swing to continue down and then not actually like kick me out. So that's why I did that. But as the morning progressed and it dropped into this is the new opening range gap. And I'll just do this, right? So, and now that we've seen this, we can delete that, clean that up. And this is not quite perfect. So the 5 minute, okay, let's do that. So the opening range gap and the end of the gap down here, see if it's more obvious on the 1 minute why it's still further down. Yeah. And that's why I was up here. I used the 1 minute. So I was right the first time. Try to be very specific. So, once the 10 o'clock time frame came around and I watched the behavior inside and they dropped in and they came up and then they kind of made these equal highs, but then they shifted. And there's this 5 minute fair value gap that I was hoping would become support for this. So I started to note, and we can go back to the regular trading hours. I started to note that, they were respecting it here, right? After this beautiful shift, which in all honesty, the entry could have been here as well, given the model, right? Or at the base of this order, uh, low, right? So, but I took my entry here at the base of this guy once I got confirmation that they were going to continue down, and I basically just aimed for the midnight opening price, which it delivered nicely for me. So that's where I got the 415 right here. And then I just kind of closed this and went back to work, right? So just pull this forward so I can see what they were doing. So I had a couple of calls. I actually wasn't too interested in trading anymore today, but I figured I'd tape read it So I had this 1 hour fair value gap BISI noted along with the sell side that they've just sort of hung out at a little bit. What I did see though was, this was meandering about here. I didn't like any of this. So when I came back later and I saw this shift here, I was like, oh, cool. So if it comes back down to here, then I'd want to ride it just to tap this 1 hour fair value gap. I'm going to keep it low hanging fruit, take out this high. Since that's there, they're probably going to tap it and then go. I didn't really even think about how well that was going to work, but there she blows. Like barely any drawdown. Sorry, this would have been, since I didn't even like properly prep it. This would have been like 80 ticks right there. And then just tapping the base of that. Beautiful. So this is more of just waiting to see which one of these would actually pan out and if it would respect the down close candle here that is working as the order block. And the fact that it stayed above the halfway point here and rolled in. So this would have been a nice entry. Honestly, let's see what the 1 minute on that looked like. Yeah, because what I would have wanted to see is it respecting the order block on the 5 minute. And then on this 1 minute right here, they wicked through it, but they still respected it. There's a volume imbalance here, which makes perfect sense. So once I saw this roll back up, if it came back down, boom, beautiful. Probably once it left here, this probably would have been my entry right there at that fair value gap with my stop below here. So I wouldn't even be risking 80 ticks, and then running for this. Like I want 60 ticks. Would I have been able to get that? Yes. Right there. Beautiful. And we could probably take a look at different confluences here to see where it would go once it left this area. So I'm going to do this. Let's see how well that's zoomed in. And, oh, look at that. The 0.5 would have been a beautiful place right there. Bam. Look at that. Beautiful. Because the high of this that's 150909, and the high of this is 151050. Wow, just a little bit of shave and then it dropped. What time is this? 3:15. The 2:15 macro starting to kick in. Honestly, once it left this right here, I would have written it down to here again. Gotta get confirmation. Shift, fair value gap, wait for it, drop. Don't even know how much that would have given, but given the movement, whatever. All right, so sorry. So I said and we can save that, and let's get our back testing. Let's get this one open. We'll use an NQ. So I originally said that I wanted, if we look at the daily, that I was expecting price to reach back up here. And then, once it hit this order block right here, finally drop back down and be rejected from here. If we do choose to go above here, then I'll continue being bullish. But for now, this is the behavior I was expecting. And let me adjust this. I'm going to be using the micros for this just to keep everything in line. So now, given the behavior I was expecting, like I reach up into it and then I return back down, we'll see what they do. Once they close, they do have, there's only 30 minutes left, right? They've created this BISI right here. They've repriced this one. So this low right here would be where my attention is. And then see if they can like turn this BISI into an inversion for a gap to continue down to enjoy some of this lower time frame stuff. But anyway, I want to do some back testing for my model, and we'll use the NASDAQ for this. So right now it's 5 contracts with an 80 tick stop and 160 take profit. Yeah. All right. So let's So I did not trade Monday. I did have my ideas about trading Monday, which would have been nice. So let's do a little bit of a prep for, let's look at the sessions here, and then what time is it? So, okay. So before, yeah, let's cut it there. Let's get to 15-minute. And let's see here. What time is that? 9:30? Okay. So London is here. So I would have taken a look to see what we have high-wise. So they just took out that PM session from the 9:30, 10 a.m. hit right there. Looking like a very strong bullish run. So this would be my main buy side expectation there, with this being another option, and sell side being down here where the London lows are. Given that I was expecting a move up into that daily fair value gap above and that order block, that's what I would be expecting. So it's 9:55 right here. We got a couple of things up here. Oh, and so got 9:30 run up, 9:45, 9:55. So I'm gonna look for, let's push this forward one. So now we just hit 10 o'clock. Okay, so for this price leg, my preference would be for it to come back. That hits there. And 80 ticks. And then this guy is where I wanted to go, but my general desire is 160 ticks and call it a day. Okay. Okay. So, sorry. Let's drop down to 4 minutes. 3 minutes. 2 minutes. 1 minute. Okay. So it's now 10:04. From the 5 minutes, we have this wick, fair value gap in here. If it's going to continue on up, then, and we can take this off for now. My preference, oh, we have a high here. So my preference would be an entry here, but we have to see what it does. So let's drop to 1 minute, see if we can't see this, and let's play. Okay, so we continue it on up. Got this guy, and the general expectation from this price leg, well, this was my general, expectation was to come back down. We have a tiny, tiny fair value gap right here. Zoom in on it. Let's see. So we have a tiny fair value gap right there. It is a BISI on the 1 minute. And my preference would be for it to come into a discount here. Now, we have a low, lower low, traded through. In my mind, this is a bullish breaker. So my general desire would be for an entry from here with something, an 80 tick. And then, of course, if we're going to be practical, take out the highs that we just left so we can get more than 160. But let's watch. It's my general expectation. So let's see. Okay. Down. Fair value gap right here. Thing is, we've been climbing up for quite some time, and from 9:30, which tells me, and it was my expectation for them to continue up. So I just need a reason to take along and a location to take along from. I didn't trade yesterday, I just tape read it. So let's see. I haven't even reviewed what I tape read, so I don't know. Let's move this out of the way for now. It's just what we're looking for. Oh, let's specify this as a bullish breaker. 1 minute. All right. So we have a new price leg right here. Let's make sure. So the halfway point's about here. We have fair value gap. So from here for the breaker, but so anything below here would be a preferable entry. I'm just gonna eyeball this because I know it's there. And let's zoom in and see what we get. All right. So now we've jumped here. We've taken this out. That's a shift right there. We've taken out a lot going this way. So, and we have a fair value gap. I want to see how they behave here. And that will tell me if we're going to continue on up. So I wanted to just disrespect it. Like it did just there. Now, there's an opportunity, or there was an opportunity right here for a short. But I'm looking for longs, so I'm not taking that. But just out of curiosity, I want to know, and I do this all the time, you know, see that shift right there. I don't like the 1 minute shifts as much. So I'd be looking for 160 ticks right there. Okay. So there's a potential for, if they turn this into a, well, we have a high, higher high traded through. So now we have a breaker right here. So it would be that order block, that breaker, something like that, 160 ticks. So if we come back up here, I'll take the short and see what happens. Because I'm expecting them to return back down this way. Now, if they don't give me the opportunity, that's fine. We'll take the long from there. Okay. No. See the behavior. What time is it? 10:18. Okay. Right. So they didn't come back up to give us an opportunity. Let's make sure we have. Oh, I hate when they give up the game. When you change times, it's very annoying. Especially when you're trying to like properly specify what you're looking for. Oh, okay. So hold on. Let me adjust my thought process here. So we have a low, lower low traded through. So we have a bullish breaker on the 15-minute right here. So let's wait for them to come back into that one. Breaker. Okay. All right. So one thing that is super necessary to be aware of is we have this big fair value gap, but inside of this, we also have this fair value gap, which is potentially a reaper. So I want to see, let's go with that, the reaper inversion fair value gap. There. And let's change the color there. Let's not do that. And let's make this a FEG, SIBI. seeing if it becomes an inversion fair value gap for us right here. And that would help us take, once it gets in here, take a long from this general vicinity. Okay, so let's drop down to 5 minutes. We already know it's coming all the way down there now because cheating. All right, so the inversion, all of this, the order block right here. So SCD says when the inversion, when the Reaper exists, expect price to calm down. So let's see. If I'd also kind of assume the inversion's there, that they're gonna tap that, want 80 tick stop, and then we'll run for those highs. That's a lot, right? When we get to 160, we'll tap out, but I want to see. Okay, so it's 10:20. Got this guy. With that, they can color outside the line of that thing too. Anyway, let's see. I want to be below these lows though. So for that to work, I need to be there. Okay, let's see. Let's see if that comes to fruition for us. Let's watch it on 1 minute. All right, so since we know it's going out low, we now know there's an inversion Reaper, so we can potentially take a short. Let's see what we got. Hold on. See what's in the vicinity. So I want to see the behavior on this BISI that turns into an inversion. It almost looks like it, doesn't it? And we could take a short from here with a stop right above there, right above it. And let's see if we can get 160 ticks. Yeah, that gets us, let's see, right there. So this inversion fair value gap, right? Okay, let's see if we can get something to, oof. All right, roll back up. All right, I'm going to sell here. And we got that better entry because I would be waiting. And let's put our 80 tick stop where we said we'd have 80 ticks. There's fair value gap right here. Oh, okay. All right. So we're looking for that. Okay, got this fair value gap right here. So we're well. Oh, this should be 5. Sorry. Let's do that again and clear that up. And let's use our 5, which is what we're using for this. And we'll sell here because that's what we're using, 5. Let's get realistic numbers. All right, so for 5, we're already at 2 something coming down. So we're just past our 160, right? So my question becomes, we have this fair value gap right here. We're hanging out at the halfway point. I'm at 240. Let's see, 160 was right around there, approximately. All right, so let's stick to the plan. Let's flatten. Let's take that. Even if we think it's going down lower, which it is. And I really do need to get, okay. So now we're in a space where we want to take, all right, so that was a nice confirmation of this becoming an inversion fair value gap and then giving us something to work with. Nasdaq does like to run. And then the fact that it also respected the midpoint. Beautiful. All right, so now we're in a space where we're looking for reasons to go long. All right. So we're inside this breaker and we're going to have this BISI. All right. So I'm going to delete that one. That's fine. We're in a discount. So we're looking for a reason to go long. So I want this to act as support. So just come down here. Bang. All right. So, okay, well, this one, not this one. Sorry. I want that one to act as support. So we've already gotten something. I'm looking. There's no need for another trade. I'm going to look. Wait. Okay. Now, this right here, beautiful. So that would take along up 160 ticks again. Just keep it simple. Maybe take this. Yeah, know what? No. Let's keep the low-hanging fruit going. 160. All right. So if this comes back down here, we can, okay, it's not going to give us, see. Okay. Now I'd also be looking at the 5-minute because I want confirmation that this is going to do what I expect it to do. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So I like that. I like the reaction from there. Now I want to see like a proper shift, fair value gap to continue. Now we're hanging outside of this SIBI. Beautiful. All right, cool. So let's readjust to about there and see if we get a fair value gap forming. We do. All right. So let's see if we get an entry. And we would be, oh, we would have bought right there. And let's take out those highs. See if we get another opportunity. This is what we're looking for, though. It's on the 1 minute, so I don't know that I like it very much. But let's see. So it's a shift right there. Made a higher low. Okay, so let's say we buy right here. All right. So I need it to respect this order block. If it doesn't respect it, then I'm offside and I'm wrong. So from here, 166 is there, right above there. All right. So let's see. All right. I want to see it just run through this. If it hesitates in any way, shape, or form in this general vicinity, then I'm wrong. And it's just coming up to take this to continue down. Okay. Ooh, don't like it, but still respecting that. Okay. All right. So from this behavior right here, I'm gonna flatten. I'm wrong. Okay. I'm wrong. So we're gonna wait. So what time is it? 10:50? All right. So now let's do this. Busy. See if it behaves, and then roll. So did we just hit my original? It did, hold on. Let's see. Because my original desire for an entry was down here at the 0.79 and go up. Maybe you're just below this thing, that order block right there. Wow, okay. All right, so still respecting that thing. Still inside of this breaker. What time is it? 11:05, so I'm done. That would be my morning trade. I'll make off with my 392 and be happy. So it's lunchtime, so I'm wrong. Going for some liquidity. Took that low out. 11:20. Okay. All right. So it sort of worked, but not the way I wanted it to. So let's take all of this off. Getting a little distracting. All right, so let's check our higher time frame. See if we missed anything juicy. So we're in this 15-minute busy, and wasn't exactly my perfect setup. And then we have another one below it. All right, let's come around. So, okay. So we came down much lower than I was expecting. So I need to see some shifting, like proper shifting upwards. So we're using this as support right here. Don't like the behavior. I'm just scrolling down, I'm not leaving. Let's see. I don't know what time it is. So we have a short-term low here. We have a low, lower low. If they trade through that one, then we might have something to work with. Let's see. All right, so we shifted above that. I'm going to drop down to lower time frame. We just shifted above that. And now we have potential for a nice long. Let's use that high right there. And my 80 ticks right under there. Okay, perfect. And let's aim for them to take out this high right here. Perfect, 160. So let's see if we get something. What time is this? 12:18? All right, so lunchtime. So no opportunities. I'm going to wait until after. So this shift, no opportunities there. We do have a low. We do have a high, higher high traded through. So we do have a bearish breaker right here. All right, so let's see what they do in that general vicinity. On the 5 minutes, there is this fair value gap. That's let's see, high. Wondering about, so that's higher. Where's the 0.5 of this? So this right here should be a balanced price range at about that point. So it shouldn't come all the way up there if it's planning on dropping. So about there. So let's see what it does. We have this order block inside the breaker, so then I would be expecting it to respect that one. So let's actually do this. 12:25. Okay. Ignoring all of the lunchtime stuff. So lunchtime, the New York AM highs are right up here. That would be a nice place to go for. We'll continue on up. And 12:35. Okay. So I said right around here would be considered a balanced price range. I don't have any news yesterday, so just kept crawling upward, didn't we? So 115, let's see. Let's got the 1 minute on that one. So this is the part that I am not the best at. When it's just constantly climbing and climbing and climbing. Not very good at that. All right, so let's see. So we've made a strong push that way. And we're expecting them to go there approximately. Just keep going. Right down. This one's taken. I still have to consider premium versus discount. So let's see, might not even give us the opportunity for that. Just a run. So what time is it? 1. Okay. 5 minute. We took out this high. Okay. It's 1:30. So for me as a newbie, I got nothing. It took that up. Let's see. What could we have done? No return there, a little return there. I mean, honestly, like, I wouldn't have been able to be included in any of this. It's like this right here, this right here at the top of the breaker, which became an inversion breaker, looks like, and then took off. That's literally the only place I could have taken something here, or at this order block, or here. They didn't return back down and tap that, so yeah. And I just took that buy side. I don't know, maybe they'll give us an opportunity because it's bullish and we're expecting them to go up this way, so we still have more to play with. But it's ugly, look at it. It's just, this is all balanced. Nothing to play with. Right here is an order block. Shifted upwards. Like from here, I would need to see proper shift down. So like this order block here, I want to see what they do. If they respect it. Like they are. It's not 2 o'clock yet. So the only real thing we have is this BISI right here. So see if they come back down to it. And this is the order block right there. I want to see if they'll respect it. Then be happy to take along from here. Look at that. Nice. So if we have a shift here, the fair value gap at 2 o'clock. So this is what I would be looking for. 160. And what does this look like on the 5 minute? Because no trust. This is all properly delivered. So all this down here. So I would have to trust. And I'm trusting the rejection, but there's no actual like shift. No shift, no shift, no shift, no shift. So it's 2 o'clock now. Let's see what happens. Maybe we get a more clear. Take that off. It's blue. Okay, came back. All right. We just shifted down into this. Thing is, they just made a lower high. So if we turn here, then I would take. Okay. All right. Beautiful. So this is where I wanted it. I need to take that high out, I think. Yeah, okay. So then now I know they're continuing on up. I'll see what the next candle does for me. And I'll buy right there. Okay, so right there, my stop's below this. So I have a lot of leeway here. And I'm just looking for 160 ticks right there. Now, we can also take a look at here. Once they leave it, then we can do even more aiming. But for now, 1 is here. And I'm expecting them to take that. So that's pretty close. So Let's see what we do. Oof, that's not a pretty candle. But I'm seeing how they do in this order block. If I'm wrong, then they disrespect it. But if I'm right, they'll continue on up. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. A little bit more measured entry. So now we get about half once we take out this high. We'll wait. So order block. A return to the buy side. First continuation up. Let's see. I'm expecting. Just call this time distortion as they gather up more orders. Okay. Given where I'm going, okay, fair value gap. Expecting it to hold the price there. Okay. All right, so there's a small one right here. Let's see what it does. General last line of defense. If it doesn't hold it there, then I will get on out of there. So this is behavior I do not like, but let's take a look at where we are in the price leg as well. So we've just come back down into this. I'm still bullish, so I'm going to hold that. Still need to see the behavior here. It's kind of annoying that it did that. But it came back into a discount. I need to see it just disrespect it, just go. Like big candles. It's like I don't like this. So we are so this order block now is my last line of defense. If it looks like we're respecting it, I expect them to, I don't like that at all. So let's look at the 5 minutes. It's gross choppiness, very gross choppiness. So on the 5 minute, we have this order block that I've entered on. All right, so we're just gonna ride it out. So for me, this order block is the last line. If we disrespect it, then I'll reduce my losses. Okay, so we're respecting it right now. We're at the halfway point, which is an area they like to consolidate and hang out. Okay. So it's 239. I'm waiting. So we're waiting on the 250 to 310 macro. And almost there. She does not disappoint. We would not have moved or stopped. Still there. Ugh, these candles are the worst. Okay. All right, so we're more than halfway. So I would move my stop to break even right there, maybe just below these lows, couple ticks. Order block right there. Still expecting price. So once we hit above, actually where are we, 362? We're almost at 160. So we're at what they consider to be one full revolution. So 5. So we're just past the 160 mark. And we just tap that. So we would flatten right there. Okay. So that would be my take profit for the day. Now we expect them to go all the way up there, but I'll take what I can get. Order block, fair value gap. I'm just going to watch what they do. The behavior at that space. So I take my 160 and be okay. But you see why I got that entry in, right? I waited for them to come into this space, draw back into this fair value gap, show me that it wanted to have support. Once we left it and it rolled back in, respected this, I had to see it take out that high, and then I would enter at that order block right there. Then I need to see it respect it, not go below it, and then I know I'm good. So technically at this point, like my stop could be like right under here. And that would have been fine. Because we see how they respected it here, continued, respected that one, and then finally like drew up. So yeah, that was nice. Now, do we see a different style of structure here? So we shift and then respected the BISI right here, the inversion fair value gap even more. And that could have been an even better entry. Once they shifted, it came back into that. Yeah, I wouldn't have had to walk through all of the drawdown there. But that would have been what I would have traded or how I would have traded Monday. Let me grab my screenshots from Monday to see if it matches what I was planning on doing. Because I did not review it and see. So let's grab that from my trading journal. Actually, you know what? Let's just switch. Yeah, I can do that. Let's switch my view here to my my journal. Okay, cool. All right, swapping out to my journal. Let's get back down because I put, as long as I have it. So 8:21 right here. So AM session, I tape read it. If we can make this bigger. So I tape read it. And so like I said, the bearish breaker and a fair value gap. So I was expected to go up there. And as I mentioned, the shift, my entry, I wanted it there, and then 160 ticks, boom, done. And then another setup, actually from the lower time frame, like long, from that I couldn't figure out how to do just now, but somehow figured out from yesterday's higher time frame bullish breaker fair value gap and order block right there, 160 tick. So there you have it. All right, party people, it's time for me to go make some din-dins. So have an amazing evening, afternoon, Tuesday. Hope all is well. Let me know how your trading is going. I'm planning on continuing to trade. My expectation for the week is about 1,200 on the account. So 3 trades for the week to get to that minimum. And just working on my discipline. All right. So y'all have a great one. Shakira, out.